Let's talk a little bit about Baker Mayfield. Significantly better than Week 1. What did you see in looking over Baker Mayfield, his performance against the Bengals?
Yeah, so reminder that this game is only about 12 hours removed for me. Long night for all of us involved. Haven't got a chance to go back and watch the tape specifically of Baker Mayfield. I was focusing on the D-line this morning when I did rewatch the first half before we had to get on here. But Baker, let's start here. He came out looking great, came out hot. That's what all the morning shows are talking about, how he came out on fire, and that's the Baker Mayfield you want to see. And that's the truth. I said it at the top of the show already. When Kevin Stefanski can get him moving, QB keeper, change his launching points, and get him playing with momentum and rhythm, he's a good quarterback. He's got that arm, will always be talented. It'll always be accurate when he's in rhythm. That's so key when I say that. He will always be accurate when he's in rhythm. But the interception, you can't have it. I need to see the all-22. I need to watch it again. But from what I saw live, he just didn't see that high safety. It was a play-action shot to Harrison Bryant that is probably money in practice, and he just didn't see it. Your franchise quarterback can't average one interception a game. I believe Mary Kay said last night that was his 8th straight game with that. So like Stefanski said, there's good, there's bad, there's a lot to clean up. So when he can come out like that and play hot, play with rhythm, play with confidence, he's solid, but the pick can't happen. And in the game plan, there are some signs there that still make me wonder about Baker Mayfield going forward. Kevin Stefanski clearly wants him throwing between 22 and 28 times, under 30. And is that a $40 million a year guy like Lamar Jackson? Pat Mahomes? Probably not. But we kind of figured Baker wasn't headed that way anyway. He needs to be Kirk Cousins. He needs to be Ryan Tannehill or Jimmy Garoppolo. I've written about that before, and he looked like that last night.
Yeah, what happened is it looked like the safety kind of showed like he was blitzing, and kind of when he saw where the play was going, he read it.
Yeah.
And you're right. You gotta realize when the call is made what is going to happen, and that's second, third level there. The other thing is, keep in mind, can we expect, because there was no preseason, there wasn't any really live scrimmaging, can you expect significant growth from game to game? Because it is a new offense, it is a new defense at game speed. I mean, that's going to be a challenge for any first-year head coach, and I think there was a significant progress that you would want to see from the Browns from game 1 to game 2, and it should be again in game 3.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, and we really do need to keep that in mind. I think it's a good preface to have that this is a team that has no continuity. I mean, the only coordinator returning was the special teams coach, and he's not the one drawing up plays for Baker Mayfield in this offense. So it's really important to keep in mind. They did not look good at the handful of practices I saw in training camp. And at that scrimmage, we wrote plenty about how the second offensive group looked better than the first. That was a completely different offense last night than I saw in training camp. So you're 100% right about that. And if that progress continues, then we can revisit this Baker Mayfield conversation and the offense as a whole going forward. They've got some tough defensive fronts coming up. Not that will be a huge issue with the offensive line being a strength also, but Baker Mayfield still is having a real problem with batted down footballs. It wasn't a glaring issue last night, but against talented defensive lines, I want to see if that continues, and that is more of a player problem than it is necessarily an offensive system problem. So there's just little stuff with Baker here and there. Again, like you said, to start that question, the interception, you need to be able to read at the third level there, pre-snap to post-snap. I wrote about his interception in Baltimore. Similar play, despite one being a defensive lineman intercepting him and one being a safety. His eyes are giving him different messages pre-snap and post-snap, and he needs to clean that up. And if that does change going forward, we'll revisit this Baker Mayfield question, I'm sure.